Welcome back to Zombie Recaps. Today, we will talk about a horror movie from 2019 titled The Rabid. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. The movie starts while showing such a girl, whose name is Rose, and she has been shown as an unattractive character in the movie. She wears eyesight glasses and has many marks on her face, and she is not more attractive. She has also a lack of confidence because of her thought that she is not attractive, and people used to make fun of her. Rose is a fashion designer, and she used to design charming outfits because she was also capable. One day, she is moving to her office. She faces trouble on the way, so reaches the office late. Reaching the office, her office head begins to show his anger at her. It is the time of your arrival. He says to her, "Look at your face. You design the outfits like your face." Hearing it, all standing workers begin to laugh. There is such a girl who keeps silent. She was a model girl and the fast friend of Rose. She had affection for Rose. It is lunchtime now. Rose is taking her lunch. Then a boy named Brad approaches her. He asks her, "Will you accompany me to the party?" Hearing it, Rose is conflicted, but her best friend says it is a good opportunity. "You must wear a fantastic dress. You must accompany him." Now it is seen that Rose gets ready, and she goes to that party along with Brad. They enjoy and also converse a lot. Going to the lavatory, Rose hears two talking girls, who was talking maliciously about Rose. They were also gossiping that Brad may not have taken Rose here. He brought her here on the insistence of Rose's fast friend. Being grieved, Rose goes to her fast friend. She asks her, "Is it true that you insisted Brad to accompany me?" Her friend tells, "Yeah, it is true, but I say so you may pass your life joyfully. You don't go anywhere. Don't take me wrong." Rose leaves from there because of his sad, and she begins to drive away, sitting on her motorbike. But she faces an accident with a car on the way, so she is fatally injured. Her fast friend is grieved. Witnessing it, she is gone manic and brings her into the hospital. Rose had received the deep wounds. Her whole body was bandaged. She restored her senses after a week. When the bandage is removed from her face, they witness that her face has distorted, and it is also incredible for Rose to believe after witnessing it. What has she faced? Rose's fast friend brings her into her house. She says, "Of course, you have been sick and senseless for many days, so our office head has replaced your seat with another employee. Otherwise, have a rest and stay alone with me here." Then it is seen that Rose is in a room alone, looking into the mirror. She starts crying. She says, "I will find out the remedy at any cost, so my face gets the recovery, and I may be like the former state." Now she begins to value her former genuine face, which was taunted by everyone. She comes to know about a health center after Googling, whose members can recover all injuries. She shares it with her friend. Her friend says to her, "Don't be late." We immediately move there. Then it is observed that Rose and her friend reach the health center. Rose is feeling nervous, and she avoids being treated. Meantime, her friend encourages her. "What is the matter of fear? If you will never feel that you had ever a scar on your face if you come under the treatment. Just observe. How good will you feel?" So Rose agrees on the explanation of her friend. Now the next day is shown when there was Rose's operation. All doctors are shown wearing the red surgical gowns in the operation there, and her surgeon had also worn the red gown, masking his face. He brings a substance resembling jelly. That a substance resembling jelly is also stirring. It was appearing as it has life. Rose comes to her house after the surgery. Waking up at night, she begins to remove her bandages. Her face had completely recovered. Rose is contented. Seeing it, she does not believe in her eyes. She starts touching her face. Now she had become more attractive, but she faced some physical changes and she was developing an unquenchable appetite. Coming out of her room, Rose moves downstairs, where she bites a man in the swimming pool. In the coming day, she moves to the doctors who had performed her surgery. Does she say to the doctor that "I am not getting the point, that why did I bite a man last night?" Then the doctor says, "It is not a matter of trouble. You are fantasizing. You yourself are imagining the things. Take your medication properly. Just observe, you will be recovered soon." But Rose does not think as those were her imaginations. Anyhow, she overlooks it and says to the doctor, "I am also feeling an uncontrollable appetite." Then the doctor says to her, Take that liquid which I have given you in red bottle. It will affect your appetite. These are the side effects after the surgery. Doctor also advises her, never be stressful. It is common. Rose also understands, thinking I should not be stressful, because she was extremely happy for her beauty. Coming to house, she tells her friend and shows her face. Her friend does also not believe, seeing her, that Rose may be so attractive. Now the confidence had started to develop in her, because no one can make fun of her. She connects with her office again, and she begins to make her dress designs. At this time, her head did not scold her. Her head had glimpsed her when she had visited club along with her friend, where he had offered her, you can join the services again if you are willing, because she used to give a more attractive look. Her personality was more appealing. She likes a boy in the club, but she also kills him. She is in her room, waking up in the next morning. Her hands are neither blood-stained nor any dead body ID glimpsed in her surroundings, nor she is in the club. She thinks that doctor had said rightly that, these are my hallucinations. She begins to take her medication. Next day, the same boy comes on the scene who had been bitten by Rose. He was not died. It seemed as if he had been infected. He is tangled with someone. He becomes too aggressive that he bites the mouth of that person. His mouth is blood-stained. Now it is seen that Rose is performing her job. At the same time, she begins to feel appetite. Rose gets up to take her medication, but she does not receive any good effect by the medicine, because her uncontrollable appetite had developed. Opening the refrigerator, she sees the raw meat. She tastes it, and her appetite is not quenched even after eating it. Rose does not know what she should do. Coming out of her house, she witnesses a man seated in a car. Rose starts following him. Then she gets in his car. They start talking with each other, but Rose had another pursuit behind it. She was not getting control over her appetite, so she bites that man's neck. But this time is also past. Then it is observed that next morning, she wakes up again in her bedroom in a stable condition. Neither her mouth nor her body are blood-stained. She was feeling all awkward, and she is not believing that how these hallucinations may have the authenticity. She thinks, I will again consult the doctor. Going there, on the other side, it is witnessed in the hospital that man who had bitten another man. He was also become so savage, he begins to attack on a caretaker there, and it victimizes her fingers, and their habits were changing like the supernatural beings. It was like a virus which was spreading by biting. Rose says to her doctor, going there, that I am facing the great fanatical state. Her doctor says, no matter how great this is, I told you, it is a side effect. Rose returns from there. Next morning, she shows her created cloth designing to her head. Then her head says, marvelous, you have done a great job. And she had really created very commendable cloth designing. Contrarily, the view of hospital is shown, where this infection is spreading fastly. Doctors were not understanding anything. Examining the condition of the patients, is it virus or the other thing, which is turning everyone savage? And those patients feel the need to eat the raw meat. And it is seen that Brad comes to Rose. He says to her, pardon me, I hurt you. They both visit the restaurant together. Rose feels strangely when she is conversing with Brad, as she is again wanting to bite him. Being confused, she moves to the lavatory. She checks her mouth while opening it. She is left surprised what she witnesses, that more teeth were growing in her mouth. Her mouth was also blood-stained. She leaves that place after being worried. Then that man approaches there who had been bitten in the car by Rose. He attacks Rose. On the opposite side, it is noticed that hospital's circumstances are worse. The patients were increasing, and the doctors were not getting ability to diagnose their condition. But after searching, they know that this virus spreads while biting others. People are under its effect enough that they are not in their senses, as whom they are biting. They are unable to control their appetite. In this way, Rose falls on the ground, feeling appetite. A person goes to help Rose as he sees her as such, but Rose kills him with a tentacle, generating from her body. Then Rose fantasizes that a lady has been seated on a bed, and there are many caretakers around her, who are masking her face with the red cloth, and her face is distorted and strange. Then Rose again wakes up. She was feeling awkwardly. She was again feeling appetite which was uncontrolled for her. She goes to take that bottle of medicine given by the doctor, saying, Take it when you feel appetite. Then that bottle falls down while taking it. Rose stops to check it. It is not a syrup or medicine, but the thick human blood. Then Rose goes to her office. She prepares the same red dress which she dreamt. Then she displays this dress to her office head. Her head is inspired seeing this dress. He asks, "From where did you catch this idea?" He says, "I will display it in a big show. Thanks that you made it." Now it is seen that show has started, but Rose's friend had still not approached there. She goes for her search, and also receives the call of the doctor. He says to her, "I need to meet you on urgent basis," but Rose does not go to meet that doctor, because it was the time of her created dress displaying in the show. Then she goes to see her friend. Meanwhile, her friend approaches there. She tells that the circumstances of the city are worse. Patients' numbering is increasing, and there was also the blockage of the traffic. I have come here in a different way. I encountered a lady there who bit my hand. What should I do now? The matter of the fact was this, is she was also infected now, because a lady who had bitten her would be surely like a supernatural being. Meanwhile, it is noticed that Rose begins to feel appetite again here, and she falls on the ground. Two persons pass beside her. They move ahead to help her, but Rose becomes aggressive for no cause, and she generates her tentacles, and she kills both of those people, attacking with tentacles. Noticing it, Brad goes away, lifting her. He says to her, "You may go to your doctor," but she forbids, because the show was going to be started. Now it is observed that dresses of their designers are displayed. Then there is turn of the designed dress of Rose. Her fast friend comes on the stage wearing it. Her designed dress was looking different, but her friend becomes violent in anger while walking, and she bites a lady, so her mouth is fully blood-stained. Then she also bites her head while preceding him. After this, Rose's friend falls down there. Then that man appears who was attacked with the tentacle by Rose. Now he was also thirsty for blood now. Meat was also the necessity of him. Moving to her friend, Rose begins to weep, because police officers were also targeting the infected people approaching there. But her best friend becomes the victim here. Brad forcefully brings her to her doctor, but Rose is crying bitterly. She is considering herself responsible behind all this. It is me through whom the virus spread. That doctor locks Brad into a room and tells that, "You were thinking as Brad is your friend. I had selected him to keep an eye on you." Brad tells, "Yeah, this doctor is speaking truth. I was keeping an eye on you. I was along with you because I had crazed to be renowned. But believe me, if it is truth on one side, contrarily, it is also truth that my heart developed feelings no matter I came here to notice you. I befriended you honestly, never doubt it." But Rose starts crying. She does not believe on this fact that she had been deceived greatly. She infuriates Brad after hearing it. Doctor throws much quantity of blood on the face of Brad. Rose witnesses a creature in another room, which was resembling human being. Actually, she was half human. Doctor tells, "She is my wife." She had known that she is going to die, so she offered her body to some creature. She was suffering from the cancer disease, so she wanted to get relief from her pain. That animal creature was mighty, so her cancer disease became permanent, which cannot be cured. This is the cause. She looks like it. Rose is still full of wrath, Brad, and aggression. She kills Brad, generating her tentacles. Taking out her knife, she begins to cut the tentacles of Doctor's wife. So Doctor's wife starts to die. Doctor cannot take any action because he is out of room. Then Rose also cuts her throat with the same knife, so the virus may not spread outside. Then it is seen that Doctor is creating something next day. He is blending the blood in a mixer grinder. There are also some tentacles lying beside. He brings these both things for Rose. It is seen that Rose was alive, not dead, because she had also got the cancer cell which were everlasting. Not she cannot lose her breath in spite of her will. It was sorrowful conclusion which had become the torment for Rose, and that doctor was very happy while tormenting Rose. It seemed as if he himself is a psychotic patient. The movie also completes on this scene. That is all for this video. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it thumbs up, subscribe to Zombie Recaps, and turn on notifications so you can get notified by YouTube when we upload a new video. Thanks for watching.